Picture this. You're driving across the endless Canadian prairies, golden wheat fields stretching to the horizon, when suddenly a magnificent red barn with a gambrel roof rises against the big sky like a cathedral. These aren't just farm buildings. They're living pieces of architecture that have shaped the Canadian landscape for over a century. Today, I'm revealing the design secrets behind Canadian prairie barns that make them so iconic, so beautiful, and so perfectly suited to one of the harshest climates on Earth. Trust me, by the end of this video, you'll never look at a barn the same way again. And stick around until the end, because I'm going to show you one modern home that has perfectly replicated a 100-year-old Quebec barn style using 21st century materials. Before we dive in, if you love architecture, heritage design, or just appreciate beautiful buildings, hit that subscribe button and the notification bell. I promise you'll discover design elements today that you can apply to your own projects. Let's get started. Canadian prairie barns are endangered species. Just like certain native birds and animals, these magnificent structures are disappearing from our landscape. No wealthy societies, heritage trusts, or governments are spending significant funds to preserve our oldest barns, and their demise can be expected unless we understand and appreciate what makes them special. Changes in agricultural economy have caused many farmers across Canada to go bankrupt and abandon their farms. On farms that are still prosperous, new metal barns have often replaced the cultural and architectural treasures from earlier years. What we're losing isn't just buildings. We're losing a unique expression of regional inherited customs, available materials, and the ingenuity of settlers who built to survive. These barns tell stories. Stories of Ontario settlers shaping prairie society. Stories of British loyalists who fled Connecticut during the War of Independence and brought their building traditions to Quebec. Stories of harsh winter climates that demanded buildings where house and barn bonded together under animated roof planes. The distinctive roof designs. Let's talk about what makes Canadian prairie barn roofs so special, because this is where the magic happens. In Western Canada, the earliest roof types were the gable and gambrel roofs, though farmers also chose saltbox, hip roof, and hip gable roof designs. After 1910, two revolutionary designs emerged: the monitor and arched roof. The gable roof is the earliest and simplest form. Initially built with very steep pitch, it could adapt to any degree desired. This roof worked on barns from relatively modest structures to steep snow-shedding roofs in British Columbia. The versatility meant it easily adapted to mechanization or barn expansions. But here's where it gets fascinating. In the late 19th century, the gambrel roof exploded in popularity, and for brilliant reasons. The gambrel roof increased storage capacity significantly. This mattered enormously as farmers accumulated larger herds and needed to store enough food to feed them during brutal western winters. The gambrel has two additional slopes on each roof wall, allowing full utilization of the loft. The pitch and size were fully determined by barn width. Even though gambrel roofs cost more to construct than gable roofs, farmers often used them to replace worn-out gable roofs because the storage advantage was that valuable. Both gable and gambrel roofs benefited from wood and steel truss system innovations early in the 20th century. This allowed farmers to design even bigger barns to house larger herds and feed supplies. After 1910, the monitor design emerged. This was a simple gable barn with smaller sheds attached to either side, running the full length. The monitor became popular because it allowed unlimited windows, giving barns excellent natural lighting. This style was frequently utilized in commercial barns for exactly that reason. Then came the arched roof, arriving late to the west, but quickly dominating new buildings on towns and farms. The arched roof was strong, easy to erect, and relied on laminated lumber to create enormous storage capacity with even more efficient loft space than the gambrel. Materials that define the prairie aesthetic. Barn design has always been affected by regional inherited customs and available building materials. Let me walk you through what our ancestors built with. Building materials were often timber, brick, and stone for exteriors, with shingles, slate, and thatch-covered roofs. Though slate is rare, thatch in Quebec is now extinct. Canadian thatch was usually straw, and it was never as durable or weather-resistant as thatch in countries where reeds were used. For bar enthusiasts, Nothing is more rewarding than finding a well-designed old barn built with these original materials on walls and roof. And nothing is more shocking than seeing a barn perfect in form, but covered by a galvanized roof, or with walls protected by shining aluminum sheathing. The all-aluminum sheeted barn is now common, and future barns will likely be metal or other weatherproof prefabricated material. In form and function, Canadian barns are classified as Pennsylvania, Dutch, and English. The Pennsylvania barn is most common except for the Little English barn. For housing animals, the Pennsylvania barn is outstanding. Usually the upper structure, or mow, is cantilevered as much as 2.4 meters. This is an admirable invention because of the shelter it gives cattle and the byre behind the barn. Nearly all Canadian Pennsylvania barns are built of pine planks, but in Pennsylvania itself, some of the finest are stone or brick, or combinations of stone or brick gable ends with timber vertically or horizontally nailed on the projecting mow. Exterior decoration and functional features. Historic barns usually have decorated exteriors, and these elements can be either non-functional or functional. Non-functional decorative elements include murals, door and roof decorations, and symbols. Some farmers added ornamentation in the form of dates and symbols to their barns. These were common throughout North America. These weren't solely painted features, but could be metal or wooden objects affixed to the barn. In the United States, especially Pennsylvania, extravagant decorations were much more common. The most popular were hex signs, geometric shapes painted on barn sides and around doorways. Some believed these symbols kept evil away and ensured good fortune. This tradition didn't spread to Western Canada, although the Pennsylvania barn style did. Barns also display functional features that are absolutely beautiful. Wooden cupolas and metal ventilators were decorative, but served to funnel moist air out of the barn. These became signature elements of Prairie barn design. Cupolas sit at the roof peak, often topped with weather vanes showing horses, cows, eagles, roosters, or other farm-appropriate designs. These weren't just decoration. They provided critical ventilation while adding that iconic silhouette against the prairie sky. Other functional features include hay hoods for loading, hay carriers for moving feed, lightning rods for storm protection, and various ventilators. Each element served a purpose while contributing to the barn's overall aesthetic. The iconic color palette. When you picture a Canadian prairie barn, you probably see red. There's a reason for that iconic color. Traditional barn red came from a practical source. Farmers mixed rust, linseed oil, and milk to create an affordable, protective coating. The iron oxide and rust killed fungi and moss while sealing the wood. This created that distinctive red-orange hue that became synonymous with agricultural buildings across North America. But prairie barns weren't limited to red. White trim was standard, creating beautiful contrast against red siding. Cupolas often featured white bases with colorful tops. Gable vents could be added in literally any color to either accent or complement the building. In Quebec, French Canadians showed much ingenuity and love of primary colors. Their barns were usually long and low, with a surprising number of circular and polygonal shapes adding variety to traditional single-story rectangles. Quebec barns were often painted in the brightest hues, immaculately maintained and celebrated as part of the cultural landscape. Regional variations and connected barns. Different regions developed distinctive barn styles based on climate, available materials, and cultural traditions. The connected barn is of ancient origin, and few remain in Canada. These attach the house directly to the barn. The idea of having the farmer an intimate relationship with animals and storage was practical in harsh climates, but fires could be devastating. The only remaining example in Canada is reportedly in Weyburn, Saskatchewan. More commonly, farmers were initially reluctant to use part of the barn for cattle during agricultural change periods. After the old barn was left to original uses, a small cattle barn was built at right angles to the old. With further need, a third barn for horses would be added to form a three-sided court. At Carleton Place, Ontario, the ultimate was reached with a piggery that filled the gaps and created an inner court, a sheltered place with many uses. This courtyard aggregation became a hybrid of Quebec barn types, where aisles and haylofts are perpendicular to the roof line, and Ontario barns after 1850, which often had U-shaped or completely enclosed courtyards. The result was central courtyard space, sheltered from wind in winter, that could open to views of apple trees and rolling hills in summer. This wasn't just functional, it was beautiful, creating protected outdoor spaces that made prairie farm life more livable. Stone and timber craftsmanship. The quality of materials and craftsmanship in heritage prairie barns is stunning. Foundation walls were constructed of split-face granite fieldstone, often 1 story tall. These stone foundations provided stability, durability, and protection from ground moisture. The craftsmanship required to fit these irregular stones together created walls that have lasted over a century. Superstructures featured heavy oak, timber, structural framing. These massive timbers, connected with traditional joinery techniques, created frameworks strong enough to support huge hay lofts and resist prairie winds. Interior configurations included wooden partitions and large open volumes for hay floors. Timber lintels above door and window openings were both structural and decorative. Gable ends often featured diamond windows and construction dates, personalizing each barn while providing ventilation and light. The board and batten siding that covered many prairie barns created strong vertical lines that contrasted beautifully with horizontal roof lines. This siding method overlapped vertical boards with narrow strips covering the seams, creating weather-tight walls while allowing for wood movement. Windows and natural light. Window placement on prairie barns was both functional and beautiful. Early barns had small, strategically placed windows. These provided necessary light and ventilation while minimizing heat loss in winter. Windows often had simple detailing with regular placement on side elevations, creating rhythm and balance in the design. The monitor roof design revolutionized barn lighting by allowing unlimited windows along the raised central section. This gave barns excellent natural lighting throughout the interior, critical for barn work and animal health. Many barns featured symmetrical end elevations with carefully placed windows, creating visual balance. Some had diamond-shaped windows and gable ends, adding decorative interest while serving ventilation needs. Traditional barn windows were typically white-framed, creating strong contrast against red or dark-colored siding. The 4 by 3 foot white window became standard, though farmers could customize size and shape, sometimes adding grids for visual interest. Preservation challenges and modern applications. Today, these magnificent barns face an uncertain future. Many have been abandoned as farms failed or farming methods changed. Those that remain often receive modern updates that compromise their historic character. However, there's growing appreciation for prairie barn design principles. Modern architects are incorporating these elements in new buildings. Reclaimed hemlock from century-old Canadian barns is being sourced for new construction, bringing authentic materials to contemporary projects. The township's farmhouse in Quebec, designed by Lee and McGillivray Architecture Studio, takes a modern approach to farmhouse design while paying homage to barn architecture. The design creates clean interior spaces while reflecting barn comfort and character through exterior materials and forms. Modern barn-inspired homes feature gambrel roofs for that classic look while maximizing interior space. Board and batten siding creates authentic texture. Cupolas and weathervanes add traditional charm. The principles that made prairie barns beautiful and functional continue to inspire contemporary design. Canadian prairie barns represent a unique architectural heritage that emerged from necessity, available materials, and cultural traditions. These weren't designed by architects. They were built by farmers and craftsmen who understood climate, materials, and livestock needs. The gambrel and gable roofs that define prairie barn silhouettes weren't chosen for aesthetics. They were practical solutions for snow shedding and storage maximization. The red paint wasn't decorative preference. It was affordable, protective coating made from farm materials. Yet in solving practical problems, these builders created beauty. The proportions, the materials, the details all work together to create structures that feel right on the prairie landscape. They emerge from the land, serve their purpose, and add dignity to the horizon. As these barns disappear, we lose more than buildings. We lose examples of resourcefulness, craftsmanship, and design intelligence. We lose connections to settlement history and agricultural heritage. We lose landmarks that have oriented prairie residents for generations. If you see a heritage prairie barn, take a moment to appreciate it. Notice the roof design, the materials, the proportions, the details. Consider the hands that built it and the generations it has served. These barns are worth preserving, worth studying, and worth celebrating. What's your experience with prairie barns? Have you explored heritage barns in your area? Drop your stories in the comments below. If you found this deep dive into Canadian prairie barn design valuable, smash that like button and subscribe for more architectural heritage content. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.